In this video, we're going to be talking about different ways to select our objects in our artboard. And here we've got our selection tool or V on keyboard. And here's a concept design that I worked on before. And we can be selecting our objects by drawing selection area like this and adding other objects by holding the shift key and drawing another selection area, maybe to select these items and those items, and we can be moving them around. Okay, and you can be removing any of these elements out of your selection by holding the shift key again and clicking on any element, and it will be removed out of your selection. Then we've got our direct selection tool in here that will allow us to select our anchor points of any design elements. Here's, for instance, we've got this circle, and once we select our circle, we're going to be seeing its anchor points, and also we can be controlling each of these anchor points separately by selecting that anchor point, for instance, and drag it anywhere around. And same goes on here and here as well. And also we can be selecting a single shape within a shape of groups like this one via our direct selection tool, like this circle or this one or this one. However, when we select our selection tool, we're going to be selecting the entire group, as you can see. So if you click outside, you're going to be selecting those circles which are grouped or linked together. If we right click here, we're going to be seeing ungroup option because these elements are grouped to each other, and we will be grouping shapes to move them around together like these shapes. So anyway, we can be selecting only one of these circles via our direct selection tool in here, selecting outside, and then select that circle or that circle or that circle, and then we can be moving this circle around if we would like, or even control an anchor point of that element. Also, here is another tool for selection, which is group selection tool. We're going to be covering that tool when we start talking about groups in detail. And also we've got the lasso tool, and this lasso tool will be allowing us to draw a free selection area like this one, for instance, to select these objects. We can be doing that via the lasso tool. And also we've got our magic wand tool in here, which will allow us to select similar objects and elements in our design artboard. If you double click your tool in here, you're gonna be seeing your magic wand options. You can be selecting similar fill color, stroke weight, or opacity or blending mode. So by default it's set on fill color, which will be allowing us to select similar colors in our artboard. And also we can be changing our tolerance in here for a more strict similar color choices, or even increase that tolerance color to make it higher and choose similar colors in harmony. So for instance, if we start drawing a rectangle like this one, and we've got our fill color in here to this color, and then we're gonna be duplicating that in here and give it that one, and then we're gonna make this one like this one. Now we've got some color harmonies in here, and we're gonna be using our magic wand and select this one, and it will be only selecting this one. If we increase it all the way to 50 and then we select this one, it will be selecting all color harmonies of our orange. However, if we set this back to 20 or even less, we're gonna be having a more strict color selection in here. And also stroke color, weight, and opacity has their own tolerance that can be adjusted according to your situation. So I'm gonna be setting this one back to 20 as it was. And let's close our magic wand options. And another way here to access our selection is from our menu. In here we've got a select tab that can be selecting an object or even all to select all the design elements via Command A or Control A for Windows, and we can be doing that Command A, and it will be selecting everything on our artboard. And in order to deselect everything, we're going to be pressing Command Shift A, or you can choose it from here if you got anything selected. And also if you select all, you're going to be selecting all the elements on all artboards that you've got within your Illustrator file. However, if you select this one, you're going to be selecting all on your active artboard like this one. So if we move around, we're gonna be seeing another artboard in here that has our design elements, and we can be selecting all these design elements via this option in here, all. And in order to select all these design elements, we're gonna be selecting all on active artboard, this one. And also we've got reselect option to select last selected objects, and also we've got inverse to invert your selection. So for instance, we need to select everything on our artboard except this circle in here. So we're gonna be selecting that one, then we're gonna be selecting to inverse, and we will be having everything selected except that one. And in order to deselect, you can be clicking anywhere outside or use the shortcut command shift A. And let's go to select tab in here. Then we have the option to select next option above or below, and let's see what it means. So here we've got this gradient background, which I got in a separate layer, and we're gonna be talking about layers later in another lesson. But let's just say that layers are giving us the opportunity to put our design elements in different layers, and we can be arranging them according to our appearance preferences. So if we need to put our background at the very bottom of these objects, we're gonna be putting that background in a lower layer, and we can be opening our layers in here, and we're gonna be seeing that layer for our background and that layer here for design elements. And I've got our background layer logged, as you can see, in order to be selecting and moving my elements freely, while I got this one fixed in the background. But let's unlock this one for a minute in here, and let's select our background. And now let's say I want to select the first object above our background. I'm gonna be moving my artboard a little bit like that, and then we're gonna be selecting next object above, and then we're gonna be seeing that this object is just above our background in here. And same one goes to the other one. We'll be selecting our background because it's already below our selected object, and we got our background selected again. Anyway, I'm gonna be locking our background again and close layers. Then we've got selecting same, and this will allow us to select same appearance, blending mode, fill and stroke, fill color, opacity, stroke color, stroke weight. And let's say for instance we need to select the same fill color like this circle in here. We're gonna be selecting this one and select same fill color. We're gonna be seeing all these circles having the same gradient color. And also we've got select object in here, so we can be selecting all elements on the same layer, or direction handles, or even by bristle brush strokes, or brush strokes, or clipping mask stray points. And all these things we're gonna be covering later, so you're gonna be more familiar with all these point type objects, all text objects, and so on. And also you can be saving a selection if we would like. So let's say we need to select all these three elements, and we wanna save that selection. For a quick access of selecting these elements, we can be going to select and save selection from here, and we can call this one 3 circles, and let's deselect them. And if we need to quickly select these circles, we're gonna be going to 3 circles from here, and they will be selected. And anytime you need to edit or remove that selection, you will be doing that from here, select and edit selection, and you can be changing its name or even delete that selection. So these are the different ways to make selections through your artboard. So that was Khalil Ibrahim with you, and I'll be seeing you in next lesson.